What's up everybody, jimmyispromo here, back again with another awesome video. And today we're going to talk about the tempered glass that almost everybody's asking me to do a review on. And I'm also going to be doing this as a giveaway, which is amazing. So I have one of them here that I'm going to test, one that I'm also going to be able to keep, that I'll be able to use as my own tempered glass for the Galaxy Note 8. And then I have 8 more that I'm able to do as a giveaway. So if you want to be entered into winning a giveaway of any of these 8 tempered glasses for the Galaxy Note 8, make sure you guys go below the video and write a comment, pretty much any comment about the Galaxy Note 8. What is your favorite feature? Or maybe what is the color of the Note 8 you've purchased. But I also want to make sure you guys hit on that like button and make sure you guys are subscribed, because only subscribers are able to win this giveaway. Now this one right over here is one of the tempered glasses that almost everybody has asked me to do. There's been a lot of questions surrounding about it. I already just tested it for the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, and it definitely came off as the winning champion. But I also want to make sure that the tests that I got for the Galaxy S8 Plus is the same thing for the Galaxy Note 8. So let's go in and let's dive in and check this thing out. All right, so I'm going to stop the video right here, and I wanted to give you guys a update. So this is me the morning after shooting this video. And so I wanted to interject and throw in some tips and tricks and some information that I did not state in this video after this portion. And so this is extremely important if you guys want to ensure that you're properly putting on your dome glass for your Galaxy Note 8 or even the S8 Plus. And so a couple mistakes that I did in the original video was that when I first put the tempered glass onto the phone and when I pushed down on the base, I pulled the pin just a little too early, and so the adhesive did not go all the way down to the arrow that's indicating on the base. So first off, I did not let it go all the way down to the arrow, and so I pulled it out just a little too early. So make sure that you guys wait all the way till the arrow. Now the next thing that I messed up is that I also had a paper towel with me that I was kind of cleaning up some of the adhesive that was kind of coming from the screen. That's another thing that you don't want to do. Just leave the adhesive there. You can clean it up when you're completely finished, because you don't want to pull additional adhesive away from the edges. The other thing that I did this morning when I replaced mine on, so I'm going to give you a close-up of how good this looks now. You're going to see that there's no blemishes, there's no beauty marks or anything like that. And when I say beauty marks and blemishes, it's the little circles or the little holes or bubbles that kind of pop up underneath, you know, a screen protector. So this one right here is extremely perfect. This is still literally the best screen protector that you can get for your Galaxy Note 8 and the S8, S8 Plus. I've had a different screen protector in the past that was also extremely good, but this one was the next one that was reviewed, and it literally was able to beat that one and just kick it to the curb. So basically just let the adhesive go all the way out to the edges, curate it with the little UV light on the top and the bottom and the middle for 15 seconds, take it out of the base, place it back onto the table, and then also cure it again with the UV light, top, bottom, and middle for an additional 30 seconds each. Then you're able to take out your alcohol wipe that you've originally cleaned the phone with, and with the alcohol wipe, wipe it all along the edges, get some of that additional adhesive off the phone, and again, take that microfiber wipe and then clean it off. So this is why I wanted to interject into my own video. I hope you guys watched all this. You took it all in, because you're going to notice that upcoming soon in the rest of this video, it is not perfect on my phone, but now it is 100% perfect. And I wanted to make sure that you guys did not do the same mistake that I did. Even though if you still have a blemish or a beauty mark, it does not affect your touch sensitivity or the protection of your phone. So if yours happens to have a small little dot, it's okay. That's the purpose you buy a screen protector, is to protect your phone. Now that I am done with my little public service announcement of interjecting into this video, let's cut right on back and let's go through the video. And again, make sure you follow the steps that I've just mentioned. Now, getting a close-up of the 3 different things that they like to talk about for marketing is going to be the full touch, full cover, as well as full clear. And then also on the very bottom, it does say that it is easy to install. And I did previously put this one on the Galaxy S8 Plus. It was actually not bad at all, but it is just going to take a little bit more patience than the normal tempered glass. And then right on the very bottom down over here, it mentioned that there is the included UV LED lamp for the glass attachment. And I do have a couple different tidbits and some tips and tricks a little bit later on when I do go through that process. Now on the very back over here, it has the screen protection features. And so some of the things that is mentioned on the back is that it has the full edge-to-edge coverage, the high transparency, there's no colored edges, as well as no dot matrix. And then there's also this DAP technology used, which is the dome adhesive patent. And then it does not affect the touch touch sensitivity, which I have tested on the Galaxy S8 Plus, and that is 100% true. But every phone is different, and I also still need to test it for the Note 8. And then it has the high surface hardness, which prevents from scratching. So the everyday scratching, you definitely will not get it with this one. But again, I will test it again for this Galaxy Note 8. And then right over here is that lamp that they're talking about. You have your on-off switch as well as the 5-pin, which gives it its power of the 6-watt max. So let's open up the contents. Let me show you what's inside. So here's the contents inside the box. This one is your step-by-step installation of getting the WhiteStone Dome Glass installed on the Galaxy Note 8. Here is the clear tempered glass. This one right here is completely clear. There is no black on the tops or bottoms or the edges. And so that one actually will distinguish this one and set it apart from some of the other competitors. Here is the charger that this will right here be plugged into, either your laptop. It could go into a wall socket, however you want to. This one will be plugged into my laptop, giving it its output. And this is right here what it'll be plugged into. This is the UV light. This is the thing that will adhere the adhesive over onto the tempered glass. It also comes with 3 different microfiber wipes, and these are extremely good quality. It's also going to come with 3 different alcohol wipes to be able to clean off your screen. And if you do mess up on the very first one, just take the glass off instantly, wipe it off one more time with this alcohol wipe. You can even do it with water to make sure everything comes off. So that is why there is 3. Also, it comes with 2 different adhesive tubes. And so if you do mess up on the first one, you do have your second one that you'd also be able to do it again. This is the dust removal stickers. Now checking out the holder and the base, you have your bottom base. Here is the top base, the top cover. This one right here is going to be the bridge, and then this one is the pull pin. Now let's move on. Let's clean the phone. Let's get this adhesive going. Now the tip I would say before you do the full installation is that you want to first off get a little bit of water. So I kind of put it in this little medicine tube here, because what will happen is when you put the adhesive onto the phone, you're going to be pushing it down so the adhesive moves down. You want to make sure you're on a flat surface. So to ensure that my table is a flat surface, I'm going to put a little bit of water onto my phone. Make sure that it doesn't move any which way, so I know that it is a flat surface before I begin it. And then now I'm able to clean off my phone. Now that you know that you're on a flat surface, take out that alcohol wipe and you'll be able to clean the very front of your Galaxy Note 8. Next, clean your phone with the microfiber wipe. This will just take away any sitting dust that could have possibly gotten on top of your phone as you're putting it into the base. When you place on the top cover, you're going to notice that there is going to be 2 different rectangles, and it's also going to perfectly align with the bottom base. So you'll just place it on the inside of there. Now you'll take your bridge and put it inside of those holes that I just previously showed you. This is your pull away pin. Place it on the very top. Now you want to take off the adhesive and take off the colored cap. You'll place that into the bridge, and then you'll take off the black cap. Once the black cap is released, you're going to notice that all the liquid, all the adhesive is going to come from the tube onto sitting on top of your phone. Now take the bridge off, and then I'll just lay your tempered glass on the very top and then let go of the pin. Now that I've let it sit for 80 seconds, now I'm going to take the UV light, I'm going to place it on the very top, and I'm going to let it go for 15 seconds. Then you'll want to place it over onto the very bottom, and then you place that for another 15 seconds. And then for fun, I would also place it in the very middle of the phone for an additional 15 seconds. Once you've cleaned off all the excess adhesive, you do want to put this on the top, the middle, and as well as the bottom for an additional 30 seconds of the UV light. Now we'll place it on the bottom and then also in the middle. Now the installation process of this does take a little bit of time, and it does take patience, and sometimes it might not be 100% perfect. So right here you can see a couple different spots that I kind of left. The adhesive kind of moved away from those little spotted areas for some reason. But you know what? It's still protecting my phone. It's still extremely strong and adhesive to the screen, and those little dots will not affect the touch sensitivity, which speaks volumes on this screen protection. Now what we're going to do is we will go in there and we will test the touch sensitivity. Now for the touch sensitivity, what I did was I went into the Samsung diagnostic test. I went into the dialing pad and I typed in *#0*#, and it takes me into the screen here. And I do want to mention too that if you try to do this and if it does not work, it's because there is a few different carriers out there that does actually disable this because they have their own way of diagnosing their phones. So we're going to go over into touch first off, and then later on we will be doing it with the S Pen, making sure that everything works. And so I'm going to go right along the edges, and I'm just barely lightly touching the phone. I'm not trying to touch it at all with any type of a hard pressure. So, you know, with this thing being able to react with my finger at the lightest touches, I'm super excited to say that this thing is very, very touch sensitive. Right here is where one of those little bubbles is at. I'm also able trying to find it. I know there's a few other ones over here too. So if you're wondering if those little bubbles on the screen underneath it, which doesn't really, you know, affect at all the touch sensitivity, it is annoying to look at only when the screen is black. But right here you can see that this phone is going to be 100% touch sensitive. It was able to react anywhere and everywhere that I was able to touch. Now move over into the S Pen sensitivity. So with this one, we moved over into Samsung Notes, and what I'm going to do is just basically kind of draw anywhere and everywhere. I'm not going to try to do it any lighter or harder, and I don't see it having any issues. Now, it's not going to do anything beyond this point because this is only where we're able to, draw within this pad. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit on the home button, so it does work down here, so it's doing a good job. And then also too, if I was to pull down the notifications panel, there's no issues whatsoever here as well too. Also, if I was to do it with my finger, it also pulls it down too. So this one right here is definitely 100% touch sensitive if you're using your fingerprint or also with the S Pen. Now we've already done the installation as well as the touch sensitivity, so let's move over into the case friendliness. And so what we're going to do here is that this one right over here is from Tech21, so this is their clear case, and this one's usually pretty good with almost any screen protector that I've used in the past. So we're going to use this one as the very first one up. Now this one is pretty much edge to edge, and so the Tech21 is not affecting at all the tempered glass. And I do want to mention too that with the adhesive sitting underneath this one will not be popped up at all. So I got a feeling that this one should be 100% case friendly just because of how strong the adhesive is. Case number 2 will be OtterBox Symmetry, and so this one is one of those that barely hugs onto the phone, so I know for sure that this one will be 100% case friendly with this one. And so let's just kind of look a little bit at the edges, and so this OtterBox does kind of go up just a little bit on the tops and the bottoms, but it doesn't really protect it so much on the edges, but that is why you have your tempered glass that kind of goes along the edges if you're about to use this OtterBox case. And I also do want to mention too, if you're interested in any of these cases that is shown off in this video, I will have a link below the video inside the description taking you directly over into these 3 different cases. And then for the last test is going to be the spec case, and I do want to mention that these ones usually do hug on to these phones pretty well. The other thing I want to show off right now too is going to be a little bit about the smudging, so you can see a couple of different fingerprints that's on there. So the smudge proof isn't 100% there, but I do want to mention that when you are able to go in there and wipe it off, it does come off actually extremely fast and easy. So let's put in the spec case. Now this one is the one that hugs pretty much the phone the tightest. This one's usually the one that's always questionable with any type of a screen protection on the Galaxy devices. Now I do want to mention that this one is looking extremely good. Even though this one right here is going to be hugging the phone pretty tight, again, the tempered glass will not pop off because the adhesive is so tight. Now let's move over into the scratch test. Now starting off the scratch test, I usually started off with a large knife. Now the thing about this one here is that because this is tempered glass, it is not going to be able to be scratched by metal. So this one right here will be perfectly fine with ceramic knives. It's also going to be good with your keys and change in your pocket. And then as well as if you were to happen to have a box knife here and you're able to go inside of there if you have a razor, and this one right here will also be able to protect it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this off just to show you that there is no scratches, but we're going to move over into the Mohs Hardness Kit. Now the Mohs Hardness Kit is one that has different edges. Each one is a little bit harder and sharper than the other ones. And so this one is going to be edge number 4. So you can see on the very top left-hand side that there already is just a little bit of scratches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it towards the very bottom. So this is edge number 4. And then also this will be edge number 5. So this will usually never scratch any type of a phone that came out after the Samsung Galaxy S7, because this one right here does have the Corning Gorilla Glass 4. And so this right here did not scratch it towards the bottom. So now what I am going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab out edge number 6. And this one will put a little bit of a scratch on the screen. And then we're going to move over into edge number 7. And then so now on the very bottom, you can see here the additional 2 other scratches. This was done with edge 6 and number 7. And then just for fun, we're going to move it over into edge number 8. And so I'm going to go inside of here and ooh, you can kind of see it coming up just instantly right away. You can also scratch this one east and west as well as north and south with this edge of number 8. Now, so here, if you would like to check out the damage, so this is why I like to test this thing out with the Mohs Hardness Kit. It lets me know exactly how much of a hurt is able to be done at all the different edge points. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to move over into this tempered glass. Now, the first edge is going to be edge number 4, and this one should not scratch it whatsoever. It shouldn't even get close. We're also going to move over now into edge number 5 because I also know that this one is not able to scratch this one, but this is just kind of showing off these starting points. And also too, I want to make sure it's not scratching any early than what it should. Now here is edge number 6. This one right here should make a little bit of a mark. And you can see there that there is a small little mark right there on the top left-hand side. Now that one's not that bad. That one's not as deep of what would happen on the previous phone we just scratched, which was the Galaxy S7, and that had Corning Gorilla Glass 4. Now let's move over into edge number 7. So this one right here is going to be the very next one. And again, I'm pressing it pretty hard and at a good perfect angle, and it gave it just a little bit of a scratch. So this one is definitely stronger than the Corning Gorilla Glass 4 that was previously on the Samsung Galaxy S7. You can see there where it's just a little bit more deep, more of a white color than this one here. So they did a extremely good job with the scratch resistance on this one. I do want to go in there with one that's just a little bit more strong. So here is tip number 8. I want to see exactly how this one looks as well too. So here you guys can see that it did definitely a scratch there, and I was able to go east and west as well too. So really any type of a tempered glass you get out there will not be able to surpass this edge with that big of a cut. But I do want to mention that with tips number 6 and number 7, which is these ones right here, this one did a fantastic job with those very first 2 cuts because they weren't as deep as Corning Gorilla Glass 4. Now let's go in there and let's actually take this off. Now taking this one off is super hard. It took pretty much almost all the force that I could. This one is at least coming off just a little bit easier than the Galaxy S8 Plus, but still has the toughest adhesive out of all of them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my hands real quick, wipe off the table, and let's finish off this review. Now, after careful cleaning, you can see that absolutely nothing has happened to my Galaxy Note 8. Now, it's just super crazy to see, you know, what this thing right here is able to do to protect your Samsung Galaxy devices. Now, this one is literally the toughest and the most durable tempered glass that I've tested with anything that has the infinity display. Now, my final thoughts for the dome glass for the Galaxy Note 8 is that it's still literally the best screen protection you'd be able to get for the Galaxy Note 8. Now, even though the installation process, there's a little bit more to it. You want to make sure that you're precise, you have patience, and it could be a little intimidating, but the moment you start going through all the different steps, it's really not that bad. Now, you also saw with mine too, it was not perfect when I had it installed immediately. So there was a couple different beauty marks, I guess I could say, that was on my screen. But even with the beauty marks, it is still protecting my phone, which is the reason why we get tempered glass. Also, those little beauty marks that mine was able to have, but hopefully yours will not, is that it did not mess up the touch sensitivity. So the installation, you know, was a little intimidating, but it wasn't that bad. For the touch sensitivity, this thing is perfect. It's almost as if there was no glass on top of your phone. So it's great to see that there's no dot matrix with this thing. There's no color on it. It's a completely clear tempered glass, and the adhesive was so strong that it was able to pull that screen into the screen of the phone so it would not mess up the touch sensitivity. And then because it was so tight of a adhesive, it was not messing up with any type of a case I was putting on there. So right now I still have the spec that is on there, and this one right here is the one that hugs the phone the most, and it was not able to pop off the screen protector. I don't think any case would, so this is 100% case friendly. And then for the scratch resistance, this one was able to beat out any of the other screen protectors I was able to test. Now, even though they all scratched at the same level of the pin, which was, you know, stages 6 and 7, but it was not as deep or as much of a scratch. So this one is a little bit more scratch resistant than the majority of screen protectors out there. So they are getting stronger, which is a very good sign. And as always, I will have a product link below the video inside the description if you guys are interested in the dome glass. So all you got to do is look below this video inside the description and you will be able to find that Amazon link. And the other thing too is if you would like to win one of these 8 different dome glasses that I will be sending out to winners, all you have to do is make sure you guys write a comment below the video, pretty much anything about the Galaxy Note 8, as well as give this thing a like. But you also have to be subscribed, because the only people that's able to win and be entered is somebody who is a subscriber of the channel. So again, I will be able to choose those 8 winners in 2 weeks from the day that this video has been uploaded. So I hope you guys have liked the video. Again, hit on like, hit on subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.